I'm Colin Pashia. I'm a metallurgical engineer for ABB Dodge. So what I do in my job is I'm the resident expert on all of our metals. So we use a lot of different kinds of metals and different conditions and things like that, and I make sure that that happens. So whether that's consulting with our applications or design engineers or helping our plants in making sure they have the right materials or treating them in a way that we get the properties that we want. I just make sure all of that happens in the way that it should. So to do that, I have an array of analytical instruments in my lab, so for microscopes and spectrometers and things like that. So I use those tools to make sure that the properties are what we want them to be. Or if things break, I can use those instruments to see where something went wrong, whether that's if maybe the customer used it in a way it wasn't quite supposed to be used, or if something happened that wasn't supposed to, I can usually figure out why that is, and we can implement solutions to make sure that doesn't happen again. As far as my career path, so as a kid, I played Roller Coaster Tycoon, that video game, a lot, and wanted to design roller coasters. I thought that would be the coolest thing in the world. And as I progressed through high school and things like that, I was good at math, I was good at science, chemistry, and so I figured I'd be an engineer because they make lots of money. And originally wanted to do designing robots and those kinds of things, and took my first computer-aided design class and absolutely hated it. It was just not what I wanted to do at all. And a friend in college told me about metallurgical engineering, which I had never heard of before. And I learned about it, and really it's problem solving, engineering, chemistry, all the microscopes, all the things that I love to do, all kind of wrapped in one. And I didn't even know it existed. So the second I learned about it and got involved in the program, I just fell in love with it. And that's what I get to do every day in my job. So as far as day-to-day kind of operations, so I'll spend some time in the laboratory looking at samples under microscopes or with the different tools. And then I'll spend some time writing reports, consulting with different engineers, different people at the plant, making sure that all of our tasks are where we need to be. So I have a Bachelor's of Science in Metallurgical Engineering. That's my main degree program. I don't have any set certifications or anything that we keep up. So the job opportunities for metallurgical engineers, so as long as things are made out of metals, there'll be need for metallurgical engineers. So it's a pretty unique program. There's not a lot of us out there, so it kind of makes the job opportunities that much better. So most companies don't have a lot of us. So for example, for us, we only have 2. So for the whole company, there's 2 of us that do what I do. A component that fails from time to time are shafts. So a shaft will come out of a motor or a gearbox, and that's what really connects to the main product that our customer has. So those shafts can break a lot of the time. And so what I do is I look at the actual fracture surface where it broke, and based off the way it looks, the different lines, the different areas, things like that, I can figure out what kind of loading it happened. And then based off the loading, I can work with the application engineer, and we can really dig down deep as to what actually broke. The shafting is really anything that moves, so whether that's a wind turbine or the conveyor belt at Amazon that gets you your package every day, or really anything that moves is going to have a shaft on it. So my favorite thing about my job is it's really a blend. So it is absolutely engineering, but it's kind of science at the same time. So I don't sit and design products or anything like that, but I use engineering principles to really dig down and into those material science type things. So how do we heat treat this metal properly, or the most efficient way to do that, or things like that. So really I kind of get to dabble in a lot of different things and a lot of different aspects, and really kind of serve as a linchpin for all the different engineering groups. So I really support everybody in the business, whether that's sales, application, design, engineering, management, all those things. And I get to figure out how to communicate to those different people. So my knowledge in the area that I work at is higher than most everybody else. And so I can't talk in terms that I would normally use, but I have to kind of adapt that language to different people. So I enjoy getting to be able to figure out how to do that, and being involved in the company as a whole. My career in engineering, I would say take as many math classes as you can and go talk and see as much different disciplines, as much as different things that you can, because you're not really going to know. Like for me, what I expected to do didn't turn out like that at all, and yet I still love my job and love what I do. So get as much exposure to many different things as you can to figure it out. I would say it's probably about 60-40 lab versus office. So I don't like sitting at a desk all day, every day. It drives me crazy. So I have to get on the lab for me to really enjoy my job. So I get those opportunities to do that as well.